Hello, 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 and welcome to the live show. It has been a while. I have no idea what I'm doing, what I'm pressing, if things are working. I sure hope so. I came into the office today for the first time for a while and sat on this desk since I've been home a lot, working from home. And I pressed on buttons, and it took me a good 5 minutes to figure out how audio was going from the Behringer into Zoom and what way I had that set up. But I figured it out. I got there eventually. And all that is to say, I'm here, ready to live stream and chit chat about what I've been up to and maybe fill you in on some fun stuff I've been working on. I have released, I have ready to go. I'm thinking about doing all of that good stuff. Nice to see many familiar faces here. I hope that this time suits more people. I think it does. I switched to an earlier time in the day before because it suited me better. But now, since I'm not doing this quite so regularly, I figured I will come in a bit later in my sort of evening 7 o'clock time and chit chat with you about fun stuff. Eric here, good to see you, and nice. Thanks so much for letting me know that everything is working just fine, no problems. Who else? I was showing some stuff in the pre-show there. Some people from all over the place. Good to see you all here. Jonas, I'll talk about some stuff that me and Jonas are doing together this week as well in a minute. But hello from all over the place. The US, from Germany. That seems to be a lot of people tuning from Germany and the US, which is great, and many other places as well. Here's where else did I see? From Hungary as well. Hey, thanks for tuning in. As always, if you do have some questions and you want to throw them in the chat, then do that. Be sure to tag here to record in them, come up a bit clearer in my screen, and I can get to those specific questions. Today's show, we're mostly going to talk about what's coming up this week. I'm going to IBC, which is if you've been to NAB in the US, which is like a huge expo full of video production equipment, live streaming, broadcasts, some film gear as well, and all that good stuff. So anything in those realms we will try to explore at the end of the week. In the meantime, I wanted to dig into some stuff I had set up in advance. Let's see. So, yes, IBC, as I mentioned, is a yearly sort of convention which happens in Amsterdam. A bunch of us in the Discord community will be there. In fact, a few people specifically I was going to show. No, which button is Supersource? Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I haven't pressed these buttons in a long time. I'm trying to remember where everything is. Yes, so Jonas, who is the maker of Playout B, myself, and Lucas, who is the maker of StageTimer.io, among other things as well. The three of us sort of came together since the three of us are going to the show on Thursday this week, or it starts on Friday. But on Saturday, we shall meet yourselves if you're going to be there in person. I'll be bringing a few bits of swag with me, and I think the other two are as well. And we've designated a place to meet. Now, since we made this map, we realized that the Congress Square, which I'm pointing at on my screen, I realize you can't see that, where the big circle is pointing over there. It's quite a big square, but I think you'll find as if we sort of linger in the same around the same areas, you'll see a bunch of, swag being thrown out and all that good stuff. But the three of us will be there, and we'd love for you to come along. If you are going to be at IBC, then find us there on Saturday. This Saturday, it's the 16th of September, from 11 to 12 local time. And we will just hang out, chit-chat, and then probably just go our separate ways after that because we all have meetings or other broadcasts or recordings to do. But that is the plan. So if you're going to be there, that's the place to be. If you want the details, you'll find them over on Discord. And we hope to chit-chat and see you there. Or if, of course, you just see any of us on the show floor, just say hello. Hopefully we'll have some bits and pieces like stickers and stuff to give away on the show floor as well. I'm bringing some of these little holographic ones that I really like of my mini Tiny Switcher and Tiny Switcher XL as well. So I'll bring a bunch of those with me and hand them out to you. If you would like one, you don't have to take one. You can just say hello, or you can just ignore me completely if you would prefer to do that. There's no problem. Eric says, if the square is smaller than a football pitch, everyone will find you, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the size of a football pitch, but we'll see. Let's see how well people can find us. Yes, Lucas. I will meet you there. Cool. Sounds good, Jared. I shall meet you there. Maybe I'll toss you a sticker or two if you want it. Plenty to talk about IBC. That is one of the things. Another thing, I was just bringing up the map of IBC here. So it is this very interactive map here that you can scroll around all the halls. So if you haven't been before, I only went once last year, so it was pretty new to me then. But the place is ginormous and has lots of booths. I think it's smaller than, I'm pretty sure it's smaller than NAB. I haven't been there personally, but I'm fairly certain it's smaller than that. But it's still pretty big to walk around and get a lot of steps in. And Hall 7 seems to be where I spent a bunch of my time last year. Blackmagic Designs booth is there. Other companies that you've probably heard of mentioned here on the channel, like LiveView, I think I've mentioned before, and things like Magewell, I think I saw those in here. Let's see what else. Right next to that, vMix and BirdDog, mentioned both of those on the channel plenty of times, and lots of other companies will be there. And my plan really is to go around and try my best to record a bunch of interviews with people and stuff like that. I'm just getting my microphone here. I'm still here. There we go. Okay, I'm back. I was just starting to pack some stuff to take with me. So my plan would be to go around. I've got my real recorder with me. I've got my microphone with me. And I would love it not to say Sennheiser, but it does. And I don't have another one. And I think it would be too poppy to not use that. But I wanted to travel as light as possible on this trip. And so this is as light as I can get it for the audio setup. I want that to obviously be as good as possible. So I will spend the mornings at the IBC event, hopefully walking around, getting to know some products that's new released or maybe ones I've never heard of. And that's why I really want to hear what you think where I should go, either now or in the Discord, but now would be great. So I'll go and I'll do like a little piece to camera. I really don't intend to like interview people there, like the exhibitors. I don't really personally love that content. Sometimes it works, definitely. If the, excuse me, I haven't talked much in the last few months, you can tell. If the exhibitor themselves are quite good on camera and they're quite like snappy, it can work out pretty well. But quite often they end up just talking for a long time and it makes it really hard to edit stuff down. So my plan would be to go there, research some stuff, see what kind of thing they have new. Let's say like I go to whatever's booth and they have a brand new 4-channel 4K switcher. I want to gather the information about that, and then I'll do like a little piece to camera with the microphone. I'm almost ready to just give in and shoot everything on the phone, to be honest. I was putting this on sleep here. My wife is going to come with me and spend the mornings in the hall. We both have press passes, so we can walk around and film some stuff. I don't know if it's pressy enough for us to be filming on the iPhone, but I figure it'll do a fairly good job to get the visual content that I want. What I'm really interested in is just syncing up the audio afterwards and getting some really clean audio. So that's kind of where I'm leaning towards now. Either that or going like tripod GH5, a little more all in. I'm just a bit worried about battery life and having to charge them around the show floor, and I don't really want to go buy more gear before it happens this week. So that's kind of where I'm leaning on right now. Eric here saying yes, use the phone. I'm bringing it anyway. I know it's not going to be exactly what I want it to be, but it will be. The quality on the phone is really good, obviously, and it does a lot of the magic. Well, magic. You don't have to think about extra steps of lots of bits and pieces. And I know there's many people watching that are not happy to hear that a phone will be the main contribution method for that. But in other shows that I'll talk about in a minute, we'll do even better contribution methods. But I think I'm feeling pretty good about doing it that way, syncing up the audio, getting good shots. So then I will grab the phone afterwards after I've done that piece to camera, and I'll get some B-roll of whatever the switcher is that I'm covering, or the camera, or whatever piece of equipment is there. And then later I'll just do a quick little edit to get those two things together. I'm looking at, 2 to 3 minute videos at different booths, maybe the odd interview with somebody a little bit longer, but mostly just little pieces that I want to watch. I know that I haven't stopped talking for 10 minutes now. I know that Aaron and Photo Joseph did really good coverage of the NAB show this year, and they had lots of shorts from that, which was just really snappy, quick content. I don't think I can turn it around quite as fast as they were turning it around, but my ideal scenario is to have sort of bite-sized, small content chunks just to get the information about what's new, and then whenever the equipment gets released eventually, or the news finds its way out there, or I can test it in a more fixed location, then I can really dig into all the details and talk about what's great about that piece of equipment. I just don't want to make like a 10-minute video about something that I've just seen for the first time. So that's kind of where I'm landed at the minute in terms of my own created content. Now, I've been sort of laughing with people as I tell them about this, that I'm sort of all talk, and then you get to this, let me just mute that. You get to the show floor and you're standing there by yourself. Someone's pointing a camera at you and you have a microphone, and you realize, okay, can I actually do this? Can I just start talking into the microphone in a random place with lots of people? But I hope so. We'll see. I think I should make some videos there. I want it to be worth my while. So that's the plan. Ladham Outreach saying, oh man, I never got the notification. Now I'm late and I don't know what I've missed. You've missed me rambling about going to IBC, and I shall continue to ramble about that for a couple more minutes, if that's okay with you. And I'll just enjoy some water. So that's the idea for Friday morning, Saturday morning, and Sunday morning. Me, my wife, walking around, shooting some A and B roll and packaging those up, maybe in the evenings or maybe on the way back. I'm not sure when I'll edit them, and releasing them as short videos, or at least chunked together videos on the channel here. Aside from that, I will be working alongside Jonas, who I have mentioned already on the channel today. And my brain just absolutely freezes because I'm trying to remember how to run this show while I'm also talking. But I'm getting there. So I'll make this public in a few minutes after this live stream, but this is one of potentially 2 live streams that Jonas and I will do from the show floor. He's bringing a bunch of equipment for another show that I'll get to in a second, but we've decided together that we could shoot and stream from the show floor with that equipment as a sort of test almost for the other show. But the two of us together, we've never actually met each other, even though we've spoken for the last like 2.5, 3 years on Discord and on Zoom. We've never actually met each other, so this will be a fun experience. And hopefully together, the two of us will be standing side by side and chit-chatting on Friday. This will be in 3 days' time. That's crazy. The 15th of September at 2 o'clock local time. I included a link below this live stream if you want to notify yourself, because you can get it in your own local time, of course. But the idea there is on Friday, we've walked around all morning, and we can spend after lunch just chatting live about what stuff we found, what stuff we were interested in, and asking people what should we go look at over the next 2 days, so we can make sure that we get all your feedback and your thoughts. And maybe you saw a press release that we didn't see. I found that last year that I was walking around sort of aimlessly, and then afterwards I realized, oh, there's like 3 or 4 things I would love to have went and had a look at, but I didn't know that they were released at the show. So that'll be great. On Friday, a little live stream with the two of us, just, chit chat, all that good stuff. Congrats, John. I had no idea you got married. Thank you. Yeah, that was like 1.5 years ago. It was a subtle affair. That's the way we like it to be. I don't mention it too much. But thank you. So that's one of the live streams, and then depending on how that goes, we'll probably do another one on Sunday. But I'll leave it up to us to figure that out. For now, we're locking in this one on Friday this week. Oh yeah, and Jonas is doing a simultaneous live stream to his channel, BiteHive, which is quite cool. So mine will be like the program mix, the two of us, some graphics, a bit like this show right now. But Jonas has built this cloud instance, a little bit like I've talked about in the past about running vMix in the cloud. He has set up this cloud instance where we will feed the camera into, where we'll use vMix to overlay the graphics, show lots of different things, videos as well, if we get around to doing that. And he will live stream a multi-viewed version of that to his channel. So you could watch either one of them. You'll get the same audio on both, but you'll get quite a cool behind the scenes experience on Jonas's channel as well. And I'm sure that we'll dig into how we've done the live stream, what way we've put it together on the actual live stream. So we'll save that or for another live stream after the show. Okay, you with me? Friday, my channel live stream at 2 o'clock local time. I see now that Jonas has his set for a different time, so if you're still watching, we need to remember which time it is, and we'll fix that on the one that needs fixed. And then last year I helped out with the Office Hours global IBC coverage. So I have the stream here somewhere. There it is. You can see me waving into the distance with everybody else, and we did a quick little intro here. This is the almost 1 hour 40-minute show we did last year from the show floor. So this was just a pre-recorded little bumper, and then over the following hour and 40 minutes, we walked around the show here. You can see me dandering with my backpack, chit-chatting to the camera, and we went and interviewed a bunch of people at their booths. Let me see if I got somebody else here. Let me see. I had an interview with Casper here from Skarhoy, which was quite fun. It was really nice to hang out with for a while and chit-chat about things. And this year, the plan is to do something similar, not quite the same, but similar, where I have a link to this below this live stream as well, where in 4 days, we will go live. So this is on Saturday, and for about 2 hours, we'll be walking around the show floor as well, mostly chit-chatting with each other and talking about the products we see there, but maybe talking to some vendors and getting their opinions on things and looking at new stuff and all that. And this is the show that Jonas is bringing all that other equipment for, so that we can actually do a stream together. Luckily, he kind of has to. Well, doesn't have to, but he has gotten himself into bringing a bunch of equipment, and I will take full advantage of that equipment if I can. Yes, Jonas does like setting things up in the cloud. You're right, Eric. And Office Hours live stream was quite the marathon. Yeah, we did a lot of walking, a lot of chit-chatting. Andrew here coming in. Update that Chrome browser. Yeah, Chrome is screaming at me here at the top corner to update. It's red now. I really should do it. But I really don't like to close my browser because I always have so many tabs. Like, I'm always in the middle of 3 projects, and I don't want to shut it down and open it again. No good reason. I just haven't done it. Yeah, Casper is a great guy. If you've met him, you will know. Das here saying, "Hey John, what tech do you like to see this year? Any expectations?" It's really funny. I have, like I said, been out of this office for a few months now, which means that I've not used my equipment and ran into any issues or limitations with it. I've barely even scratched the surface of the 2ME that I have here. And it's not like I haven't been doing any jobs. I've been doing lots of freelancing jobs for people over the summer. But all that equipment is all fixed equipment. Much of it is in really good condition and still works really well. So in terms of expectations, I don't really have any. I'm not expecting, new ATEM Mini 4K Pro ISOs from Blackmagic or new crazy cameras from other companies. I can't think of any companies right now. So I'm actually, it almost sounds like a disappointment that my expectations are really low, but I actually find that quite nice because I'm not going in running looking for and hoping for lots of really flashy new things. It'd be nice to see a few new bits and pieces, or at least revamped bits and pieces, so I have some stuff to cover. But maybe I can just use the experience to chit chat with people I've met before or haven't met. So I'm not really sure where we're at in terms of like the industry and what's needed. We're kind of in this middle zone right now where I think a lot of the 2110 IP-based stuff is not really there yet. There's still a lot of market gap to fill, certainly in the price range that I'm looking. And many of the switchers and glue that all connects it all together is all kind of in place already. Maybe you disagree, and that would be great to know if you think like we're really looking for this thing or that thing. I just feel like a lot of this stuff has been really refreshed in the last year or two, and we're in a really good position to purchase stuff. But good question. So that will be the coverage in general of IBC, and hopefully I'll go away from it with at least 3 live streams and at least a handful of recorded videos on site. And if I can do more than that, I'll be happy. But that's more than I did last year. Last year I only did 1 live stream from the show floor, and I remember going away from it feeling slightly not disappointed. That's not the right word, because I had a great time and I really enjoyed it. But slightly feeling like I had more in me. I could have shot this. I could have gathered that. So I'm hoping that this year I can top that a little. That's my bare minimum of what I want to do. Exactly. Low expectations means I cannot be disappointed. That's kind of what I'm feeling as well. And Andrew here, in your opinion, what bit of tech needs to come along to be contemporary? Thinking inkjet printer level of old. Ooh, that's a good question. Contemporary equipment that needs to get a little kick. I'd have to think about that. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll find the answer to that on the show floor, where it's finally like, this is it. I think a lot of the UIs, that's one thing. A lot of the UIs that you find in hardware boxes need a good kick. They're very much the inkjet printers of the industry. You log into some of these devices and you find a UI from the late 90s, and it's not very intuitive and not very keeping up with what I would consider, even though it's not a web site, it still could work its way in sort of the usability things we've learned from the web. So that could be one of the things. BMD has been very quiet and must be working on something significant. Wish for September. Yeah, I'm thinking the same, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if they have something. Last year, they released all the new Ultimate stuff at IBC, and they didn't do any big splash about that. They just sent out a press release and said, here's what's new. They didn't do any live stream or video, really, in the usual capacity that they do it. And then at IBC this year, they released all of the new Video Hub devices. And since then, which was in April, they've been very quiet, mostly quiet. So I would be surprised if they didn't have something ready to go. I think a lot of people have been wondering about the studio camera, 4K, a 6K model, but in a smaller form factor, just like the Pocket. No, what was it called before? Anyway, the small box camera they made previously. So that could be something we could see. In terms of the switching world, I have no idea if there's anything left in there right now for them to explore. More 4K stuff probably, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see much from them in terms of 4K switchers, since a lot of the range has been refreshed pretty recently. Yeah, I think that nicely rounds out IBC coverage. Jack B here saying, I might have missed it, but what gear is Jonas bringing for your live streams for the show floor? Good question. Like I said, I actually didn't cover it because I said that we would talk about it on the show whenever we go live, but that's not to say that I can't mention now. I'm only trying to remember what he said he was bringing. That's my only stall here. But I believe the internet-wise is using a PepLink in order to connect us to some Wi-Fi, but also to connect a Pearl Nano, which I have one back there. You can just about see it, being the main streaming encoder, and then a BGH1 as the main camera. Audio-wise, I think he's bringing a Mix Pre, a couple of Sennheiser microphones as well, and what else? Batteries, lots of batteries, and battery packs and battery adapters and all that good stuff. I think that's about all I can remember, and I'm sure that we will dig through all that gear whenever we're there. Oh, good. Yes. You got it. Nice. It's not a terribly advanced. Well, okay. It's not a terribly complicated setup. Each piece should do us very well for what we want it to do. But what I like about it, it's not very complicated. It's very much the one encoder, the one camera, the one internet service providing box, and we should be good to go there, which is quite nice. Last year we used a couple of live view models to do the same thing, so it'll be interesting to see this year how well this works versus what we used last year. I've got a feeling that it will work very nicely on the show floor though. But you will find out on Friday when we're there, trying to go live, and you're seeing some buffering, or the opposite, you're seeing us in crisp detail. Let's see. Here, that's saying probably a television studio HD 10 or 20 and 4K, maybe. Something with more ins and outs. Otherwise, I'm very confused about the 8 in the current name. Yeah, I was thinking that whenever the HD 8 came out, why put a number in there other than to increase that number later? And I have been chatting to a few people who've bought the 8 version and felt like it was just too inputs too little. So there is some room for growth there, but I think it's at a certain point you're kind of better off going for a Constellation rack mount with a controller. It's in that sort of middle ground. I think there's a big price jump. Well, actually, there is a big price jump if you're going to buy the controller, like the desktop controller is quite the expensive price jump. But for the switcher itself, it makes sense to go that direction, I think. Cool. So that's IBC. That's the plan. Do come and, if you've missed it at the start, come and find us at the IBC, the official IBC meetup. Discord, here to record, official meetup, whatever we're calling it, on Saturday, the 16th, this Saturday, at the Congress Square, which is right there in the middle of all the other halls, and from 11 to 12, and you'll meet me, Jonas, Lucas, and many other people from the Discord community as well. We shall have a whale of a time, I'm sure. I didn't sound very sincere there, but I am sincere. I think it'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. Saving some questions for a bit later, and now to talk about what's new. I need a stinger right now, but I don't have one. To talk what's new in the Here to Record store. It's been a while. Flashy stinger there. So a few months ago, I decided to make some pins, and you'll recall this one here, the mini switcher, and an on-air pin I made, and some other bits and pieces. And I was very blown away by the interest in them, which got me bringing forth some more ideas for more pins. So about a week ago, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago maybe, I relaunched the store in a very soft relaunch, I would say, because I didn't go live about it and I didn't make any videos about it. This is the first time I've been back in a while. But anyway, I'm now back with a bunch of new pins, which I'm really happy with once again. And I wanted to share a bunch of them today. I have them here on the table in front of me. So this is the new selection of pins here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pins to chit chat about today. I'm just going to go through them all because I quite like each of them individually. This one is called the monitor and bars. So it's like a little desktop, like a little desktop monitor here with some color bars on it. I think it actually goes nicely with this. I should probably sell this like as a 2-pack, but it's the mini switcher and monitor combo. I can see you having that on your desk, but I really love this. It's a really nice little pin with a single clip on the back, nice little bars. It doesn't, scream anything other than you're into this kind of video production world, and you like that kind of TV with bars. But I do think together they make a sweet little couple. And then I have these 2 crew pins. So this is something I was thinking about for a while, which was a lot of the time you're forced to wear certain clothes for your job and you don't get a chance to wear like some sort of crew shirt, or maybe you want your whole team to wear the same sort of crew style thing. I thought these were quite nice little crew. This one, it just simply says crew. It's that wooden style pin. And yeah, people know that you're on the crew. And then this one's got a little more flash to it, I think. It's got the bars just like the monitor one. Circular, wooden style, and a bit more noticeable, I think, from far away that it says. Oh, maybe not. Depends what way you look at it. But yeah, another little crew pin, sort of an alt on that one, which I quite like as well. Yes, Jared here jumping in the chat saying I like the PTZ pin. This is a fun one. I really had a great time designing this one. It took a lot of iterations to get it to this point where I was happy with the size of it, which is quite big actually compared to the other pins here. But the look of it, it looks like a little PTZ, I think. And obviously you thought that too if you said it was one without me mentioning it. But it's the same, that little like wooden style, quite nice. Sits nicely with the pin up high, so it should sit nicely on your shirt. And just a little, you know, you're an enjoyer of PTZs and you like it, then I think this is a good one. And then I made this last one, which is an alternate on the previous version. I don't actually think I have one here in my hands, but the previous version was like this style, which said on air, and it was in the thick sort of wood style. They're very light, which I quite like, so they sit nicely on you. But I decided to make this metal pin instead, so it's a good bit thinner than the previous ones, heavier too, and it's got that shiny back with a nice little red attachment, and then it much more striking on air. I'm actually wearing one for this show today, as you can see here, on air pin. And I have to say, of all the pins I've worn, because I've worn all of these on jobs at some point, this on air one seems to get the most attention. Let's say that people really like this style. It's a nice little reminder of what you're up to. It has a little, you know, gleam to it, and it's quite nice. So if you want to, those are all now available over on the store. I've just posted a link to it below this live stream, as I always do, and over on the website too. And you can get them individually, like the crew ones or the PTZ pin if you want, or if you'd rather go for the all pack, you can get that 5-pin pack instead, which is the on air, the 2 crew pins, the PTZ, and the bars. I've found since I released this like 2 weeks ago, I have made some sales through the store, and I find most people ended up going for the 5-pin pack. I think by the time you put some postage on top of this, buying one of these, you know, it can add up a lot, especially if it's going across the world. But if you're into saving or sort of grouping all of the purchase together, then the 5-pin pack is a good way to go. And the link is below this video if you're up for that. I'm sure I'll be mentioning it plenty in coming videos and streams, and I'm sure you'll see me wearing them in all sorts of videos too. And if you're among a lucky few that are coming to IBC and that I still have 1 or 2 pins left, I will be bringing a bunch of these the original little tiny switcher pins, and maybe 1 or 2 of some of these pins, but mostly these are earmarked for the store. But if you are, I will manage to bring some of these little tiny switcher pins too. So do ask me for one. Last year I told you, the general you on the live stream, that I was bringing 1 mouse mat with me last year, and I did that. And on the last day, just before I was going to leave, someone came up to me. I've forgotten. I'm sorry now that I've forgotten, but who it was that came up and asked for the mouse mat, and they got it just on time. So if you do see me there, don't be afraid to ask if I have any pins available, and I'll see what I have available before the meet and greet. That'll be fun. Cool. That covers IBC, all the pins. What else is new? A couple of last things before we wrap things up for the day. I used to do these for 30 minutes, these live shows, and now I thought I'd be a bit more flexible today since it's been so long, and you know, it's nice to hang out. Not much has been posted on the YouTube channel for the last few months, and mostly that has been a mixture of things. Among other things, it's been summer and I haven't really been in this office much. But I do have a video that I'm working on coming out in the next few weeks. I got a chance to go with a guy I met at a freelance job. He works for a company that has a nice big OB truck that covers racing events. So you can see here on the screen, they have all their cameras plugged in. You can just about see it. All of the cars lined up to do the race. So he let me come along one day and sort of look over their shoulder as they were running a show for some racing competitions, which was really fun. The rain was crazy that day. I think you can see it in this photo here, how much rain is pouring off of the tent that I was hiding inside of. Luckily, it dried up so I could walk around. I did not go prepared for that rain, but it was really fun. So I have all that footage. Oh, whoops. A subtle plug there. No, I have all this footage ready to go, so I will edit that down and do some A-roll shoots of it pretty soon. Quite excited for it. So the channel is not dead, luckily. It's just been on a long break for a long time. And I will get back to making videos soon enough, I hope. And that brings me to the last thing of the day, which is what I have been working on over the summer as well. So a pretty big project, and this is not really a release of it, because we've done a soft release a few weeks ago of a new project that we've been working on, myself and Lucas from Stage Timer and Spike, who I don't think has appeared on this channel yet, but you might have met him through the Discord. And the three of us have been working together on a rundown tool called Rundown Studio. And it is, like I said, this is not the official announcement of it. We're going to do that in a few weeks' time whenever we've got even more people testing stuff out. But I thought I'd at least mention it today on the channel so I can get some more people who are interested in it signed up, giving us some more sort of early access thoughts and testing it out on some shows. We already have a bunch of people in there who are kind enough to be trying it out and testing things. So if you do want to learn about that, I will share the link with you now, which is rundownstudio.app. And you can head over to the site, read about what Rundown Studio is all about, which is pretty much about production rundowns and making them really sweet. We're really happy with what we built so far. And you can request early access through the site there, and we shall do our best to get you in on the fun. I will post this link just in the chat here so you can see it. Lots more to talk about in this topic. So right now I just wanted to give you a heads up that we're working on something really cool, and I would love to see your feedback on it. Alrighty, that's fun. It's been a while since I went live, and it's been nice to come back and chit chat with you. If you do have any questions about all sorts of IBC related things, then do save those for Friday and Saturday and Sunday whenever I'm doing live stuff. IT never gets old. Apologies, I kind of jumped over your question about upcoming plans for H2R graphics and gear, but I will come back to that in the next live stream for sure, because I have some things that I've been working on for both of those behind the scenes, but none of that's ready just yet. So I'm keen to wrap all that up a little bit. That about does it. Thank you so much. I don't remember if my end button will work here, so we'll find out if I press it. Oh, it does. Yeah, thanks to all you for watching along, and of course to the supreme supporters who are still supporting this channel off air with Jezza, Revolution, Lightboards, Marlon, and Cloud Bedrock as well. It's been nice to have you all supporting the channel, even whenever I'm not making as many videos as I'd like to, but I'll get back to it again, I'm sure. Alrighty, see you in the next one. Bye.